Cassie told the jury that the freak-offs made her feel disgusting and humiliated and worthless.
She did say these freak-offs lasted between 1 and 4 days, and it would take her an equal amount of time to get her body recovered, to rehydrate, to rest.
Well, I think we're going to learn a lot about the nature of Cassie's relationship with Diddy.
Cassie Ventura just named Christina Korm as keeping tabs on her for Diddy.
A hidden freak-off ledger, hush money NDAs, and a hotel punch no one expected. Day one of the Sean Diddy Combs trial blew the courtroom doors wide open. May 12th. 2025 in Manhattan federal court. Prosecutors waste zero time. They brand Diddy the CEO of a criminal enterprise, outlining racketeering, trafficking by coercion, and money laundering charges that could lock him away for life.
Second thing that was discussed this morning, will the public, will the media be able to see video of these freaks?
Witnesses were called today, including a former security officer at the hotel, where Diddy is seen on video attacking Ventura brutally. You remember that video back in 2016. The prosecutors played the video. The witness testified that Diddy tried to pay him off with a giant wad of cash. The day's second witness was a male escort. This is where it really got very juicy, who says that he was paid by Diddy numerous times to have sex with Cassie while Diddy sat there in the corner, masturbating and watched. He says he once saw Diddy throw a liquor bottle at Cassie and heard him beating her in another.
The defense shoots back, calling the case messy, not criminal, and warning jurors to separate tabloid gossip from real evidence. The mood is electric. First witness, former escort Daniel Phillip. He testifies that he recruited models for invite-only freak-offs, handing each guest a cash envelope and an NDA before their phones were sealed in a safe. The jury scribbles notes. Next, hotel security officer Israel Flores describes a 2016 surveillance tape that allegedly shows Diddy punching a woman outside a Miami suite. The video exists, but the judge won't let anyone see it until the chain of custody is airtight. An instant cliffhanger. Lead attorney Mark Agnifilo rises for the defense, calling the witnesses influencers chasing headlines. He insists every encounter was consensual and that any cash was paid for privacy, not silence. Prosecutors counter with a PowerPoint of jet tail numbers, wire transfers, and burner phones. Their mantra: follow the flights, follow the money, follow the crime. Pens race across juror notepads. Day one ends on that note, and a promise. Tomorrow, a very pregnant Cassie Ventura takes the stand. Day two is about to get personal. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a second. A swollen belly, shaking hands, and text messages that read like SOS flares. Day two belonged entirely to Cassie Ventura, and it turned the courtroom into a confessional. May 13th, 2025. Cassie walks in 8 months pregnant, every juror's eyes locked on her. Prosecutors open with a single image. A 2009 diary page where Cassie wrote, "I'm scared 24/7. The hook is set. She starts at the beginning. Age 19, signed to Bad Boy. Flattered, then isolated. Within months, she says she was attending Diddy-organized freak-offs. Phones surrendered, cash envelopes on the table. Her voice cracks but never breaks. Next, the studio hallway incident. Cassie describes Diddy slamming her head into a wall after she texted a male friend. Prosecutors show jurors a dated photo. Bruise, hairline cut, no makeup. Gasps ripple across the gallery. She reads a text Diddy allegedly sent the same night. "Don't forget who owns you." A prosecutor asks, "Did you feel owned?" Cassie, "Every day." Then the kicker. Miami yacht episode 2015. Cassie testifies Diddy tossed 2 assistants' phones overboard before forcing her into a cabin with 3 strangers. She calls it the longest hour of my life. The courtroom is silent except for her breathing. Defense objects, calling the story unverifiable. But the judge lets it stand and recesses early, citing emotional fatigue. Day 2 ends with jurors visibly shaken. Tomorrow, Cassie returns for part 2, deeper, darker, and under oath. Make sure you're here for every word. Day 3 felt more like a diary reading than a courtroom proceeding, because Cassie Ventura brought her private messages, her private photos, and her private panic straight to the jury box. May 14th, 2025. Cassie retakes the stand, clutching a binder of screenshots. First up, the yacht night texts. She narrates a string of frantic iMessages. He took my phone. Can't get out. Please call me back. All timestamped the same hour she says Diddy forced her into a cabin with 3 strangers. The jurors lean forward in perfect sync. Next, prosecutors roll out the $50K envelope story. Cassie testifies she watched aides hand guests thick white envelopes after every freak off. She never touched the cash, she just memorized the totals. It was hush money, she says. Defense counsel objects. Speculation. But Judge Subramanian allows the phrase, telling the jury to judge credibility for themselves. Then the physical evidence. 3 photos, 3 years apart, bruised arm, swollen lip, blackout bruise along her jawline. Cassie says each picture paired with a promise that a love gift would make it better. The gallery is silent. Finally, the emotional gut punch. Cassie recounts the night she signed a 6-figure NDA just to stop. In her words, the screaming in my head. Prosecutors rest. Cassie exhales. Day 3 closes with the courtroom drained. Tomorrow, the defense cross-examines, hoping to poke holes in a story that just got terrifyingly detailed. Don't blink. Day 4 could flip everything. Day 4 turned the trial into a duel of stories. One told by a defense lawyer, the other by a very pregnant Cassie Ventura who refused to flinch. Mark Agnifilo started fast. Why, he asked, did Cassie's journals skip the 3-month European tour in 2013 if life with Diddy was so dangerous? Cassie answered that fear doesn't run on a calendar. Agnifilo flashed affectionate 2014 texts. Miss you, babe. And argued they proved a willing romance. Cassie called them trauma bonding, words typed to survive, not to love. Then came the $500,000 settlement she accepted 2 years ago. The defense painted it as hush money. Cassie called it rent for my silence. Cash that never healed bruises. Jurors next saw the 5-page NDA she signed the same night. Cassie said she was panicking. Defense insisted she negotiated calmly with lawyers. Agnifilo hinted she's angling for a blockbuster memoir. Cassie shrugged. If telling the truth sells, so be it. When questioning veered toward victim blaming, Judge Subramanian cut in, reminding everyone that consent obtained through fear is no consent at all. After an hour of parries and jabs, Cassie stepped down still intact, the jury unconvinced but visibly unsettled. Tomorrow brings Dawn Richard, ex-Danity Kane member, who claims she once saw Diddy swing a frying pan. Momentum could shift again in a single blow. Day 5 kicked off with pop star Deja Vu. Dawn Richard, former Danity Kane singer and one-time bad boy protege, took the stand and dropped a frying pan bomb. She testified that during a 2009 studio argument, she saw Diddy hurl a cast iron skillet at Cassie, then chase her through a hallway while assistants froze. Richard said she quit the label weeks later because fear moved in and music moved out. The prosecution followed with Richard's emailed studio logs, time-stamped the same night, backing her timeline. Next came Cassie's brief redirect. Prosecutors asked just 2 questions. Did the frying pan incident happen? Cassie: yes. Did she report it? I was told a police report meant no career. The exchange lasted 90 seconds but landed harder than any cross-exam. Then, audio. Prosecutors played a muffled 2016 security recording. Cassie crying, Diddy shouting, a slam, then silence. Defense objected, calling the clip prejudicial background noise. Judge Subramanian disagreed, ruling the jury could weigh tone and terror even if words were unclear. For a final Friday twist, prosecutors called a flight log analyst who traced the same Gulfstream tail number from New York to Miami to LA on the exact dates of Cassie's diary entries. The pattern matched the cash envelope schedule Daniel Phillip described on day 1, knitting the week's testimony together. Court adjourned at 4:30. The judge told jurors, no Googling, no podcasts, just fresh air. But everyone left knowing Monday brings the tech forensics agent who cloned Diddy's phones. Week 2 ended with the skillet still ringing in everyone's ears. Day 6 opened a brand new playbook, tech forensics and best friend receipts. First up, Carrie Morgan, Cassie's longtime confidant. She told jurors she once saw Diddy drag Cassie down a hotel hallway by her hair in 2006 like luggage, then lock her inside a suite for hours. Morgan said she texted Cassie nonstop that night and saved every message because I knew one day she'd need proof. Those texts, time-stamped, geotagged, unedited, flashed on courtroom screens next. They synced almost minute for minute with Cassie's diary entries the jury saw last week. Same dates, same dread. Momentum shifted to hard evidence. Enter Special Agent Paula Nguyen, digital forensics lead. She outlined how Homeland Security cloned 14 phones and 3 iPads seized during last year's raids. Metadata showed Diddy's Gulfstream jet hopping New York, Miami, Los Angeles in perfect lockstep with the freak-off calendar escort Daniel Phillips sketched on day 1. Nguyen also traced 22 wire transfers, each under $10,000, to shell companies prosecutors say paid party guests. The defense-attacked chain of custody, were the devices ever left unattended? Nguyen coolly displayed tamper evidence seals and audit logs. Judge Subramanian overruled each objection, telling jurors, evidence stands. By late afternoon, the prosecution's jigsaw looked nearly complete. Testimony, texts, travel logs, and money trails snapping together. Court adjourned with Agent Nguyen still on the stand, poised to dive into encrypted chats first thing Tuesday. Week 2 ends on a digital cliffhanger. Tomorrow could expose the private messages Diddy hoped were unreadable. Stay tuned for the next video showcasing day 7 to 12 from the Diddy trials. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss it.